That also adds up to extra burden to someone who is already like dealing with mental issues, because a extra layer of thought also comes down, because they're also thinking about how will people think of me when they get to know that I am dealing with this stuff.
Yeah, see, the person going on to our site, basically, like I said before, is not someone who for fun is going on to such sites, or someone is typing anxiety, depression, suicide, or how do I get out of this, and things like that. And obviously the website comes up and they click on it, they read on it. So this person is already under some amount of pressure of something happening, and that gets compounded by looking at the website, and then he goes into another spin. How do I call? How do I write? What do I do? So it does affect them. And so, but usually people do garner some amount of strength after some time and do call us.
Hmm. Hmm. So, I also wanted to ask, this is a very interrelated question. So, we were talking on one of our calls, and so you also mentioned people who call, and basically they call as saying that ki, my friend is dealing with a mental illness. So, this is the part wherein the stigma comes in, right? They basically hide their stigma by saying so.
There are a lot of ways people approach us. Someone will first call us and test whether this number works or not. A lot of people think that most of the helplines don't work. It is just this thing. So they will pick up the call, they'll call, and as soon as our counselor says Vandrewala Foundation helpline, they'll put the receiver down or they'll click it off. So that is the first step. The second step is they may call us, and at that time some relative, some friend, or someone walks in. So they will click it off. So this is, yeah. We have heard it. We have called them back, and they have called us back later, and they have said, sorry, I'm extremely sorry that we had to cut off the phone because of the fact that someone walked into my office, or my mother walked into my room, or someone walked into my room, and I didn't want them to know about it. So they discontinued. There is a third variety of people who call us and ask us, you have written 24 by 7. Suppose I call post 11 p.m. Is it okay? Will someone pick up my call? So they are testing whether we will actually be picking up their call post 11 or not. Is it genuinely 24 by 7 or not? Now, so this is the way they approach us. Now, on the mail, we have put on that button, help at Vandrewala Foundation. So out of, I would say, about 20% of the mail, what the person has done is just clicked on it. The minute he clicks on it, it sends a mail down to us saying help, only help. His email ID is there, and help. There is no text, there is nothing, no text in the message box, or whatever you call that place. Nothing. So we know this person is hesitant, or this person is trying to test whether this email actually works. Does someone respond? Because a lot of time I find this situation when within we always make it a point to reply within 24 hours, and a lot of times those people will ask me, sir, you really answer in 24 hours? Thank you for responding that fast. Sometimes it comes back in 5 minutes. Now there is a joke in that 5 minutes. Suppose someone writes and I am sitting right in front of my laptop, and I answer back immediately, or something like that. I have been asked, is this auto reply, sir? Is this a human being behind it? So then I have to write back, yes, this is very much a person in flesh and blood. So those things also happen to us.